Even you, I said it, and I'd be like, well, why? What's up? Boom, boom, boom. Or they
Mhm.
try to hide it, and I'd be like, okay, cool. Well, that's why I don't fool with you. I don't have nothing, I don't have nothing for you. But it was a blessing when I got to the pro side because, I didn't have a lot of just tag along guys, you know. And that's why I try to forgive a lot of these kids who make a lot of mistakes because you got to think some of them from the eighth grade got a lot of yes men. And I
Mm,
had the
mm,
ups and downs where some of these guys don't have haters because they are popular, they are on, so they don't know how to deal with once they hit some adversity. They're like, man, what is this? Everybody doesn't like me.
mm.
Like, shoot, who's going through it right now? Dang, I forget which athlete I was thinking about. I was like, this is first time figuring out everybody don't like him. Everybody don't Ja Morant. Ja figuring out
Oh,
the first
oh,
time
oh.
everybody
Yeah.
don't like him. Everybody doesn't love me. You know what I'm saying? So I think I think it's a maturation level that he's gonna have to go through in that. But it's man, it's just a tough part when everybody says yes, 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 and
Mm,
you don't hear no.
mm, mm,
How
mm.
how important how important was it to have? Did you have a no man, or how was your nucleus structure?
For sure, man. I had a good agent, so my agent was good in that, and it's crazy. Actually, the hardest thing I ever had to do is say no to my pops because he wanted to come in and be my accountant and do all that and handle all my funds. And as much as I love him, he didn't have the expertise at that level.
Hmm.
My dad played high school football and basketball, he pretty much surrendered his life to his family, which is admirable because I don't do what I do without him.
Hmm.
But to say him like, Dad, you're not a financial person
Yeah,
professional. I
yeah.
can't trust this with you. The bills that you paid were middle class bills and great, but now I'm about to make a couple million, couple hundred thousand. Like, so, managing that is different. Like my dad would get a shirt off his back to anybody. So he was giving money here,
It just
giving
be
money
going,
there.
yeah.
He would give it to the boys and girls coming on. I'm like, Dad, let's do that for sure. But do you know that it's an actual write-off as you're doing it? And that was the question there. So saying no. And then what I would do once I got a financial advisor to answer your question about saying no, I'll make somebody have to go through all these loops. I'm
To
like, well,
get
send
to.
an email to my financial advisor. They're going to tell you to vet it yes or no. And if someone can't do that, they don't have intent on paying you back. You putting them through a process.
Right,
Or I would say, if I knew if someone wasn't going to pay me back, I said, well, cool, do a job. Go to my parents' house, go do some work. I'll pay you for that. You
right.
know, and you can't humble yourself to do that. Or like, if you need help with your rent, well, let's find somewhere to move. If you don't have rent money,
Yeah,
we got to move you somewhere because
yeah.
that's a problem, but those are little triggers that I saw. And then even the current day, I've talked at the rookie transition several times, the mentor programs, all those things. So I kind of give the same speech and spiel to those guys too, but you find little techniques, and the hardest one is the family. Once you get past family, you should be able to roll from there.
Okay. How did your dad take that? How was that?
Or he was mad at me, but he understood. He respected it at the end of the day. But like he was definitely not for real. He was definitely mad at me. Like it's one of the hardest things I ever done. But like he had to respect me as a man, because like
Hmm.
pops is gonna you gotta understand, like your pops is gonna come in and want to do everything because he's done that since you were born. But when you tell him no, I got it, like hey, I'm working just how you working, you put those restrictions, a real man is going to respect that you as a son, you're coming to him like that. And he respected, he didn't like it, but he respected it because he wanted to watch over me. He wanted to make sure everything was good. And I live simple. The most thing I bought was video games and Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody else was buying chains at the time, the big old chains.
Yeah,
We were buying
yeah.
chains like this when we came
That
out.
spin and
Like they
everything.
don't, yeah. So I wasn't even into all that. So that worked out there.
Yeah,
I was
man. That's
curious
great.
too, Ryan. You have a young team there in Houston right now, a lot of talented guys. Are you able to kind of push that knowledge onto them as well to let them realize, hey, I ain't trying to control you. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, yeah. So, what I do with our guys, I try to pick and choose my moments when to speaking to them and, the things they need. And they work so much. So the biggest thing I try to be is a positive impact. Everyone's clawing and scratching at those guys. So for me, when I see them, I'm asking, how you doing, man? Here's this good. We don't talk basketball. I try to look at them as people, because everybody's scratching and clawing and, sometimes giving them advice, giving them encouragement on saying, hey, heck of a job, good game. People are watching, keep up what you're doing. Don't worry. I know you didn't play. And I try to focus even more on the guys who don't play. Even you didn't play, I know you can play. I know you got game. I know those things. So just encouraging them because that can be absolutely like it can be a dark place for those guys when they're not getting minutes. And sometimes it's a sounding board. If they frustrated, I hear sudden, I take care of them. They understand. So everybody around that team is a family and putting up a perimeter and a buffer between those guys essentially.
Yeah, that's good. Want to welcome in Coach James. Want to welcome in my brother Kendall from the Leaders Only Show. Welcome in, fellas. Just getting acquainted, man. I know some of you will get coming out of practice and getting off of work. So we was just asking Ryan some questions. He was filling us in on some things that he had to navigate with his career. And then Mr. Rubama was just filling us in. We had asked him a few questions just about how the athletes are, or how he has viewed it over time, athletes dealing with the hate, you know what I mean, the low vibrations, especially nowadays, which is tonight's topic. As you know, this is mental health in high school sports, but we wanted to focus on injury recovery. And I've seen the last 2 weeks, it's been going on forever, but I've actually seen these ring camera gun shootouts, and it's just been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? They 16, 17, 15, they adding switches to these guns. And this is our community, you know what I mean? A lot of our athletes are playing hopscotch around a lot of this. They know, they'd be right in the thick of things if it wasn't for the sport. But they know what's going on, hearing it to the grapevine. So just ways how they can navigate, how they do navigate, how they feel about it, ways that we can offer, you know what I mean? We're always looking for ways to offer solutions. So that's what we're here for tonight, fellas. We won't be here too long. We know that there are other obligations going on in your lives, but just a nice, strong hour or so. Drop off when you have to, but definitely, man, we're gonna let Zoe kick it off. He gonna moderate. If Pops gets out of his game on time, he'll come in. But Zoe gonna moderate, and he gonna kick it off with just asking us our mental health status.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So this is just a check-in. We like to ask on a 1 to 10 scale, how are you doing mentally, physically, spiritually? And you can elaborate as you go. I'll start off since I'm talking, and then we'll just go around. Everybody get a chance to speak. Physically, I'm feeling about an 8, 9. Me and my brother Samaj, we did 110s a day. That was our conditioning test at Norfolk State. We did 16 110s as our conditioning test. We did 8 today, and that's something that we're gonna keep going. We actually did overtime. We ran sprints and stuff. It felt good. I feel like when you're doing things with people, when you're not doing it alone, it makes it easier. So we did good with that. Mentally, I'm about at a 9. My graduate classes have been kind of hard this week, but we're getting through. And then spiritually, I feel like I'm at a 10 spiritually. Really been getting in the Word and praying, and I feel real good spiritually right now. All right, so Mr. James, you're next.
Great, great. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
I can hear. Okay, great, great. But first of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, the man up above, for allowing me to be on this planet. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. I got on a 10 scale, I am a 9.5 because it's hot. I thank God for the heat. I'm a country boy. I feel real good because of the people that I have around me, especially my blood family, and especially the people like you all that I have surrounded around me. You know, the big book says your latter days are your better days, but you have to control what's around you. There are some things we can control, some things we can't control. Like I can control myself being on this Zoom. I need this Zoom. This is something I need for fellowship. I need to be around strong men, people that support you, people to help you improve your mental and physical, your emotional, your financial, your family, all kinds of things. I have so many categories I could speak about, but I'm standing on the backs of other people who have helped me to get where I am now, and I'm gonna continue growing because I have guys like y'all around me. But to answer your question, I'm a 9.5, and like James Brown said, I feel good.
Yes, indeed. I'm an 8.5. I stay at an 8.5 until we utilize unity. Other than that, my body, physical, mental, spirit, I'm at a 10. Like you said, I did 3 workouts. We've been working out 3 times a day. Just coming off a watermelon fast yesterday. Still, you know what I mean, just getting better. Love the financial side of things, getting better. Looking at the stock market, looking at this crypto, being able to save, being able to invest, looking at more land. So things are going in the right direction, but until we realize that we need each other as a whole, I'm gonna stay in that 8.8, 8.5 range. That unity will get me to my ultimate happiness. But I'm straight, man. I feel good, bro. I'm straight.
All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
how can we, if you like to elaborate, how can we get you from an 8.5 to closer to a 10? Can you, if you don't want to speak on this, fine. But do you want to speak on that at all?
Yeah, I mean, for me, man, I constantly say it, man. I've gotten to the point where I know who's in control, even higher than religion. I know that we got a creator, you know what I'm saying? I know you're in control, she in control. And I know that we got to clean up our diets, we got to clean up the way we think so we can have realistic conversations without disrespect, without emotions being involved, so we can actually move the pendulum in our communities with our families. With me, extended family, like this stuff is great to come together with strangers, you know, some brothers, some friends, some just coaches that I coach with, I meet through 6 degrees of separation. But man, when you look to your right or your left, you know, your front, your back, you want your bloodline to be there. You want to align with other bloodlines. My garden is growing. The homestead is coming together, but we should be farming. You know, we should be not complaining every day about what Donald Trump is doing, and coming together, like, yo, really exercising what we can do together. I don't care if you got 1,000, I got 1,000, he got 1,000, she got 1,000. We put it together. You know what I'm saying? With the books we read, sharing information. Just like Ryan said, his dad wasn't financially literate in these situations, which is a mirror of mostly all of our fathers, all of our mothers.
Mhm.
So it's like now we don't have that excuse, bro. These phones are so powerful. The internet is so powerful. Getting to who you need to get to is so powerful, that we should have family businesses and stuff like that. So for me, just coming together, man, keeping our word, pushing people, you know, finding solutions. But the kickoff would be in my family, bro. Like, I don't know. I was just telling somebody, bro. I know my grandma, which is my mom's mom, and her sister had kids, and I know all of them, but I don't know my grandfather's mother and father on my mom's side or my dad's side. And I don't know like other. So I got like three different three separate bloodlines that I don't know at all.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You be in this world like, yo, this all the people I got. This is the only people I got to work with. And you
Right.
got thousands of people that probably think the same way you think. Like, dang, I just wish I had somebody who cared about the fam and what we got going on too. Because you can win doing things the right way. Like, you can be righteous, you can be pure, you can help people and win. Like, you can make money for other people, but all the things, you could be cool or whatever everybody looking for. I just feel like you can do that by doing the right thing, bro. It's not that hard. And we all been on the opposite side of doing right and wrong. We've been young, but more and more as I get older, I just see how things operate. And it's not more so the race, it's more so the finance, the social, the resources, and the information. And if we don't have them, it's just gonna keep being tough per generation.
All right, Samaj, thank you for sharing. Being that you talked about blood family, Kendall,
What's up, man?
how
Uh,
you feeling mentally, spiritually, physically? And you can.
Mentally,
Mhm.
I'm pretty much solid. I'm probably about a 9. Um, Physically, I'm tired. Working. So I'm probably about like an 8.5. Um, and spiritually, I'm growing in that area. So I'm probably about an 8. Um, but I'm blessed, man. Like I said, you know me, man. I'm never gonna complain when I'm in the situation that I'm in. I'm in tune with my brother. I be hearing everything he says, you know. I love my brother, so I'm always blessed to be in this situation to do anything with him. You know what I'm saying? That's a humbling experience to me. I'm not locked up, so that's another blessing. You know what I'm saying? To overcome what I came. I don't show pity. You know, I make mistakes. And I don't fault nobody because I grew up in a household with a mom, a stepdad, a hell of a brother, a sister, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like it was, a whole bunch of bullshit going on, but it was at the same time. So I'm here, I'm blessed, I'm humble, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and all of the above, man.
Thank you for sharing. One point I forgot to tell you, great job holding down the show on Sunday.
Oh
You
man,
did
I
great.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate
And
it.
that was good. I forgot to tell you that. But is there anything we can do as brothers to help you move from the 8 to any higher spiritually?
I think it's a self thing. I got to get myself together too, though. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like I got to get all the way together. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
I know it's me.
Gotcha.
It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. It's me. My brother is Samad, so that'll tell you right there. That.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
me. I'm
Gotcha.
a little stubborn too now. Still
Gotcha.
human now, but
Okay.
I'm practicing every day. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm able to step away, like I really want to step away and let my business run like it's supposed to run,
Yeah.
I'll be able to get in tune real good. You know what I'm saying? So that's all.
Okay.
I'm taking them steps though. It's working well. Today was this whole week is a test for me with my crews. I'm finally letting them go out without me.
Mm.
So that was a lot. That took a lot for me to do. So, and it's working. So I'm
That's good.
blessed. You know
That's
what I'm
good.
saying? So it's good. God pointing me in the right direction. He
Gotcha.
getting me there.
Gotcha. All right, Ryan. 1 to 10, how are you mentally, physically, and spiritually?
I would say mentally, I'm gonna be straight up. I feel like I'm at a 5, and this the reason I say at a 5, just dealing with a lot of stuff in my personal life, family life, and I feel like as men, we can have this discretion, but like you can be a time bomb to an extent. So I feel like it's easier. I say a 5 is easily I could walk away from something, have discretion in the wrong situation. I could blow up, So I'm just be straight up with that. And normally I don't have that energy, I put that, that part of my life past me in a sense. And, it's different. When we have sports, we could blow up as we play sports and then we shake it off. You fight with your teammate or somebody else and you shake it off. And that's just the energy you have. We have a safe space to do that we don't necessarily have. So I would say a 5 is there. Physically, I would say a 9, man. I feel great. I go to the gym. That's probably the best thing that saves me of just releasing that energy, bro. It's crazy. Like I'm probably the strongest I've been in my life just because I'm working out with taking that energy, putting it somewhere, see like-minded individuals. So I probably say a 9 to 10 for me would be like playing shape. Like I'm not going into a game tomorrow, but I'm strong. So I definitely, I'll take a 9. Spiritually, I would say 6 to 7. I'm there. I'm consistent. I've been a lot stronger spiritually, but I feel like I'm consistent. I keep up. It's close to my heart. There's nothing that's going to make me waver, but I would say I could probably be better. Definitely better in that place, and I've been better. But I feel like I have a good gauge about the things that I do, and I would say that my personal life affecting it. Yeah, I would definitely say that. It's a strain. You get in a battle with, okay, this is God's way of doing things, and then this is my way of doing things, and then these are the things realistically going on in your life, and you try to balance all those things. So I think I've come to a good understanding of it, but I would say spiritually a 6 because that trust and that faith still can be there, strengthened even more. I'm dealing with some things my way, just to be honest. But even though I don't feel like I'm doing nothing crazy, but I feel like for my standards, that's where it is.
So is your physical helping with your mental at all?
100%, bro.
Okay.
100%. It's scientifically proven because I do a lot of research that like
Mhm.
if you don't release those things, like, and I look back, like, we've been blessed when we play a sport or even we coach, we let this stuff out. We get to yell at each other, we get to scream, we get to go. It actually releases things in your body. Every time you sweat, you
Right.
recycle, you drink water, you sweat out water, those things. So just put it lightly, I think absolutely it saved me, bro. I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't working out and even like creating a community around those spaces. I would say that's probably my saving grace right now, just working out. It's funny, like people are seeing you like, dang
Yeah.
man, what you been doing?
Right.
I'm like trying to survive. Like I'm
Yeah.
working out. This is more
Uh,
than just a workout,
yeah.
it's a release.
So what are you doing for yourself? Like what kind of self-care are you doing besides working out?
Man, I definitely have a good community. That shoot, I love what you guys are doing here. This is my first time in here with that. I speak to people.
Mhm.
I reach out. I'll go get a massage. I connect
Okay.
with my family. I don't mind being transparent now. I think, shoot, within the last, bro, I'm 40 now. I would say within the last 2 years, I've been more transparent now than I've been in my life. Like, hey, I see this. This hurts my feelings. I
Mhm.
see that. That makes me angry. Like, I don't speak like that before. I felt like you weren't supposed to do that, but I accept. Hey, I can tell you I love you. Boom. And it's not a how's
Yeah.
somebody gonna take it? I love you and like cool, like so I think that's just part of growth and maturity. So I feel like I'm able to have those outlets to even I'll tell someone I'm not doing good today, like you know what I'm saying. But before we want to be stone faced to never say those things. And obviously I feel like I found some decent trusted channels, within that space to be able to say those things.
Okay. And then the last question before, is there anything we can do to help you improve your mental?
And just hearing this here, bro, what y'all doing is amazing. It's huge. And I think for us as men, it's simple just knowing that somebody cares, man. That's that simple. That means a lot. It goes a long ways, So hearing the exchange, caring about each other, someone understanding the stuff you're going through, or because especially as an athlete, man, you get beat down, bro. You get beat down on social media now. I feel for these kids get beat down through your career and just what you're expected to do because you make enough money, right?
Mhm.
But you don't see all the people tugging at you, holding on to you, and sometimes it be the closest people to you that do it, and that's a different type of hurt,
Yeah.
So I think just the simplicity of feeling the energy from you guys, oh man, that's huge. That's for me, that hits. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being transparent. Me and my brothers Samaj talk about all the time how it's so uncommon for us to feel, but we're supposed to feel.
Nah,
Because when
bet.
we don't feel, it's not a good thing. Negative
For
things
sure.
happen. Like, we gotta let it out. We gotta talk. We gotta, tell people when we have issues. Like talk about it. It's okay to talk
Yeah,
about it.
that's
So thank you
fire.
for being
And
transparent.
and that's fire because to hear from you, like y'all got like kind of like a wall up, I mean, like we just started making this thing popular, by certain. Because I made a comment last time, like that, like on our show, like the fame, and the people that so-called celebrities and all that, right? It kind of like overwhelms the mental health thing for how the media portrays it. You know what I'm saying? So like to hear the real, bro, like we could really hear it in your voice. Like, dog, you can, dog, that was dope, dog. Like to be real with it, like
Appreciate it.
that was solid right there to,
Yeah.
to be able to speak your piece, and because you on a platform, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't like you wanted to put yourself up there. You just wanted to play ball, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that's dope, man. I don't know you from a can of paint, man, but that was dope, man.
Yeah.
That was
It's
real dope.
funny. It's funny. Somebody told me this. They said men are more emotional than women, but we just handle it in a different way. Like,
Mm.
and if we think about it, that first girl in elementary that broke your heart, you's never gonna show that side of you ever again. But you gave her roses, you called her every day, you did all those things. Like that's naturally our being. But once she break your heart, bro,
Yeah, it's a wrap.
never again. I'm not you don't just turn into maybe a stone faced killer, but you like that's not gonna happen. We just shield ourselves real quick.
Yeah.
And then we become men and we all realize like it put that side of me so far away that I forgot that was who you were genuinely were.
Yeah. So, Mr. Obama,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
I I know you know the question, so I'm not gonna
yeah,
repeat
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So let me go ahead. All right. So spiritually a 10. Just thankful, just blessed and thankful. Was able to my part-time job is I work at a men's homeless shelter. So every day I go in there, God lets me know, okay, yeah, you may have had a bad day, but look at this brother. And each Thursday I get to share a word with them. And today's word was talking about dealing with pressure. And I compared it to, all of us are former athletes, and there's nothing like a game 7 moment. You know, how you're going to shine in that time. And, it's either going to break you or it's going to make you. And so I talked to them about dealing with life and dealing with, game 7 moments. And like I told them, I says, you might not be shooting that last basket. You might not be up there trying to hit that last baseball or nothing like that. So, but you're dealing with real life. You're dealing with, not having a home. You have dealing with family issues. You're dealing with health issues. You're dealing with different things. And so, when I talk to them, it really helps me because it makes it real to them and they enjoy it. So 10 spiritually, definitely 10 spiritually. Physically, I'm a 9 now. I was probably a 3 last week. I was sick all last week. Don't know what was going on. Was nauseous, sick. I went to the emergency room. They did tests on my heart. They did all these different testing, and I think maybe all I needed was a little bit of rest, dealing with some things that was going on in my family. And then, as Ryan was saying, man, mentally, it's getting better each day. But I just found out last Sunday that a cousin of mine who is like a son to me just decided he's gonna now give up and not do chemotherapy anymore. He's got cancer. This is a kid who was a Division I athlete at Norfolk State, was all everything. I mean, man, it was just incredible. He's helped me with my son who's moved on to Atlanta, and it's come upon him within the last 2 years. So it was difficult talking to the rest of the family on a Zoom call like this. We had about 20 members, and they asked me to finish out in prayer. So one of the questions that was brought up was one of the person says, I question God, and they thought that was wrong. I said, no, He wants you to be questioned. You could be angry with God because that's the type God is. But I had to share it with my son later on because he's angry as well because he's real close to my cousin. So just talking with him, the one thing with my cousin I was able to do is a year and a half ago when he started the process, he wanted to write a book, and we are about 38 chapters later. The book is just about done. And so, in fact, if I have to leave, I'm waiting to talk to his wife, and we're trying to get this book started and going. And so, my mentor was probably about a 3 last week. Is going to church, going, sharing with his brothers at the homeless shelter, and they're just realizing that he knows the Lord, is gotten back up. But it's tough, as Ryan said, man. You're dealing with people never know what you're dealing with. And it's tough, man. It's tough to see a young man who worked out every single day, sometimes twice a week, to then have this. He just got married 4 years ago, has a 2-year-old son, and those things is what's really struggling mentally. Where I'm asking God, why him? There's all these other people out here who ain't doing nothing with their life. Here's a man who truly wants to be a black role model for his son, and he might not ever get the chance to be able to coach him. He might not get a chance just to see him become a young man, and it's difficult dealing with that mentally. But this is awesome. My church, talked to my pastor yesterday. We talked about it. So this is definitely helps. This definitely helps.
Yeah, thank you for being transparent, and that hits hard. Just the just thinking about it. You may not know we just lost a brother of ours, Norfolk State.
Yes, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. So with cancer, we didn't know. So it hurt. What hurt was we didn't get the time to really say goodbye to him. We did, but we didn't get to have the conversations with him. So it's one of those things, like you said, people don't know what you're going through, and the fact that you wanted to be out here. I know you had a call, but I didn't know what the call was about until you just shared now. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Definitely sending you love, brother.
I appreciate it, man. I
This
appreciate
year,
it,
I
man.
tell everybody, this
Thank
year
you,
been
thank
one.
you.
This been a year right here. It's been a year, boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, before you move on, Zoe, I just want to piggyback on that for how serious this is too, because as we do go through all that, men are just your grieving gets cut short, your mourning gets cut short, your everything gets cut short, bro. Just because you managed to go do something that you're supposed to do in your schedule tomorrow, people just feel like, yo, you just move past it, like it ain't happening. You know what I mean? Because you ain't crying or you're not sitting there, just sad. It's going on. It's all up here. Like we have to compartmentalize. You still have to be the leader. You have to be the strength. You got to be the protect. You got to be all those things. So it's very important to find more channels and more outlets. So when you mention volunteering, that's a great way, bro. It was that's important, you know what I mean, to get that dose of reality where you can take, ain't got no money to deal with nothing. This don't matter about your popularity, how you can help, no nothing. This is literally for my spiritual currency, bro.
That's right.
I'm here. So yeah, I'm glad that you said that, because that is a way for us to heal.
Yeah, and
Hey
I want to
man,
go
I
to
had
the
to learn
next
that
one.
too.
I
I
want to
say
go
real
to the
quick,
next
just
one. Oh,
the
go ahead, Brian.
gratitude is a huge part of dealing with depression too, because you
Exactly.
become grateful. So you give into those
Amen.
people.
Amen.
And I feel like a lot of the positive times or middle times in my life, like volunteered at a high school or given or had my camp or something like that, and then get more out of that. So yeah,
Exactly.
shoot, you probably, like you said, you acknowledge that thing is sustaining you, giving to those people. Sorry.
Thank you, Ron. Yeah, thank you, Samaj.
Yeah, that's good. I was just saying I want to go to the next one, Mr. Obama, if I can. The next with the men's group, I would like to go with you if I could.
Oh yeah. I do it every Thursday morning. I go from I'm there from 6:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning till 12:30, and then I go to my full-time job. So Thursdays and Fridays are really tough, but once again, man, when I go there, if I haven't been there for a little while, the guys asking questions, and man, it's just I've seen some young kids. In fact, there was a kid from Green Run. He was a senior in high school 2 years ago, who was living in the shelter because his mother kicked him out because she got a new boyfriend.
Mm.
I had another situation where a young man was dropped off. The mother left. She got a new boyfriend, dropped him off. We didn't have any more beds available. He sat outside just crying. So it's things like that when when you're feeling sorry for yourself, like, no, Lord, okay, I see. This is where I need to go pour my energy into. And then you got a lot of the mental health issues, man. It's a serious thing, man. Some of these guys come in there, you won't believe they got a grocery bag full of medicine that they're taking just to be able to stay right, to be able to just to be able to be able to just to maintain life, just to be able to focus and get through each and every day. And you see that going on, and you see so many brothers, and 80%, maybe 85% of the people who come in there are black men, ages 16 to we got two guys in their 80s who don't want to leave. They say they want to die in the shelter, a men's homeless shelter. So those are wake up calls that you deal with. You had talked about mental health, and some of these guys are dealing with some serious mental health issues that are going on. We've had a couple of former athletes that have come in there that because I tell nobody there who I am or what I do. So that way, they don't have, they don't know. So I'm just in there just listening and trying to help these guys because we all need it. And so like I said, this thing that you're doing right here, Zoe, this is good because this is something that needs a lot of men need this. A lot of men need this.
Right. Tony, I know you put in the chat, Tony. Did you want to share how you feeling mentally, physically, and spiritually?
So I appreciate it. I know I'm not actually part of the gang or anything, but
You're definitely part of the game,
Right.
brother.
Shut up.
but thank you for giving me a space. Um, Actually, right now I'm housing a family from my church. I have a bedroom house, and I'm a young lady and her child, and I'm giving them shelter, to try to advance financially. The young lady, she's going through mental things. So, the dynamic is real across the board. Community, like we talk about, like Samar says, um, Kendall speak on it. That's why we do our Leaders Only podcast. We deal with a lot of stuff, and we're not supposed to cry. We ain't supposed to have emotions. So, what I'm doing, how I feel on a mental level, um, I'm doing about a 8.5 or a 9. Spiritually, I'm at a, I think I'm at an 8 because the church is disappointing me.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I work at a church.
okay.
I'm an audio visual director at my church, and I feel like the church is really kind of like played the background in society when they should be in the forefront of all the things that's going on right now. I mean, they're too quiet, and it bothers me. I worked at Howard University for 20 plus years, driving presidents and board of trustees and dignitaries. And I've seen, people in the Divine Nine and everything. And I'm wondering how we got all this knowledge, all these smart people with all these accolades, and we're in the worst condition ever. I just can't put it together. And my mom, she since passed on in 2015. She left me with a house and a car, third grade education. How was she able to transfer wealth over to me? And you got these people with all this knowledge that can't do it. It's befuddled of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just dumbfounded. So I'm seeing it in my church. I'm seeing it in families. So in short, this is how I'm feeling across the board. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Samaj, we got to get our unity together. We got to love up on each other strongly. We got to go out and reach. We got to do some street evangelism. We got to go out, man. It's just like, the adversary is having its way. You know what I'm saying? And we know the Lord, we know God wins in the end. We know this. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you for the space. Thank you, Lorenzo, for giving me a voice and everything. And I appreciate this. Every month, y'all, I'm here. Every month y'all gonna be here, I'm here. So
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. So for those that don't know, Tone Drone, that's Tony. So all the production and everything, that's all him. So
Yeah.
the cameras, everything, the preview, the video, the music, that's all him. So thank you for sharing. And one thing that I'm learning and I've learned is academic literacy does not always mean financial literacy. So that's something that we definitely have to do better with. I know Samaj talked a little bit about that crypto, and you can tell people about it, but a lot of people don't want to believe you until they see it. So we got to educate ourselves. And I know Coach James, we talked about it every Monday. We talk about what we're gonna do with it, but it's okay to share. Did you want to speak on that at all, Samaj?
Oh no, man, I agree.
Okay.
What I wanted to do was, I'll say, to that is just, a lot of people want to fill their bios, man. A lot of people want to be popular. You know what I mean? A lot of people want to be in front, and don't know that winning the championship is still winning the championship. You feel me? You can be. I mean, we all seen it. You seen the highest scorer in the league. You know what I mean? But that don't mean he got a ring. You know what I mean? Then you'll see people over here, they may not made it to the All-Star game and all that, but they got great camaraderie. You know what I mean? You'll see their kids running around at practice, like I was telling you. So all that stuff matters to when the coach bring his kid. Such and such kids is over there. Family, wives is involved. They doing little things. When you going out bowling and just stuff like that, that stuff has to transcend to the family. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stick there. You know me. Democrat, Republican, Muslim, Christian, whatever you are, we need to unite, okay? We are in a bad predicament, and our kids are you want to judge the tree, look at the fruit. Our fruit is not getting better. So I'm with y'all. I love to hear, other brothers just be honest. I'm gonna kick it to you 100. My heart is open. You know what I mean? It's no longer about me living in this physical. I feel like a lot of us, you had the era where you were popular. You had the era where you had the girls. You had the era where you was in the clothes. You had the era where you was in the shoes. I'm into the Most High in every format. I like taking my shoes off. I want to ground. I want to meditate. I want to help. And now that's where my frustration comes from when people put that red tape up around you, helping, sort of like the Teddy Bridgewater. You see what just happened to Teddy. You know what I'm saying? Going in our own pocket. We don't have no problem because you got kids that don't eat at night. I mean, Mr. Rubama just said it. You got a kid that his coach probably want him to score or dunk or whatever, and when he leave practice, he going to a shelter, bro. You got another kid, he can't even get in the shelter, but his mom, she rather go have sex. That's what her frequency and her pelvis, her son sitting out here crying. I don't have no children, so you know me, I be ready to help him, them, what, because it's bigger than us, man. Our bill's gonna be paid, bro. You do the right, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But you gonna
Right.
be all right. I ain't never met nobody doing the right thing that ain't get by. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I love to hear it, but I want you to just get into those
Okay,
questions.
okay. Yeah, I got it. I
Yeah.
got it. I got it. All right. So, all right. The question we had, first question we have, what does mental toughness mean to you, and how can it be helpful as well as harmful? Ryan, if you don't mind, I really wanted you to kick it off. If you don't mind, but if not, I could.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
To me, mental toughness, at this stage, as an athlete, we would say, making the correct play, making the team play, making a free throw when it counts, or holding on to the ball, or holding your block, or, staying in your lane assignment per se. But I think now, mental toughness, we've conditioned ourselves to go to work to do the right thing. Mental toughness is, to me, using discretion is being uncomfortable, being comfortable when you're uncomfortable, and understanding your gravity. For us as men, I think it's knowing your gravity, knowing that you have kids that look up to you, have people that you mentee, you have a household to maintain, that's mental toughness. And then doing it again, the easy things, we've made the hard easy by our age, but there are still some things that come with challenges. So for me, that's mental toughness. And I'm sorry, what was the second part of the question?
So, how can it be healthy instead of harmful? Like, how can the mental toughness be like healthy instead of, because
For
sometimes,
sure, for sure.
yeah.
100%. Sometimes mental toughness for us, and I think we've all kind of touched on this earlier, is the transparent moments, going to someone and saying, I'm not okay. And that's a part of our mental toughness now, because that's something we've never had to do. And
Right.
those are things that break down. And sometimes the mental toughness for what we knew before kind of got us in that situation. But you got to, because bro, if you, I used to hear the statement like, if you cry, what's the baby gonna do? Like we gotta keep the lights on. We have to provide for ourselves. When the bill collectors come and the mortgage is due, you have to pay it. You can't talk back to your boss. You can't go fight the person that says something sideways to you. You know, and I think it can hurt you when you see mental toughness. I think at our age it's different. So at 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, our mental toughness transfers. We're just trying to be men. But once you're a man, it's I think understanding the needs that you have. And, I think even too, like Larry kind of spoke on, like addressing our health, like, and I'll challenge you too, Larry, in this space. We love you. I don't know you like that, brother, but I think that now you can't worry so much about, and this is something I had to learn, is like letting go. When you worry so much about someone that you love so much, you can love someone so much that you give yourself, and you don't realize the people that need you. So you still have an obligation to us and to your family to check up on yourself. And sometimes I have to take stresses and let them go, and that's not my personality. I ride with you. The loyalty, like, what you going through? We going through it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And for the space I'm in, I can't go through it with everybody. I have to learn to select and move forward, and that I'm not that Iron Man. So I think for me, that's where at this stage, I see mental toughness, and I think again transforming the way of what it means and making that uncomfortable. I don't think it's ever comfortable just to be crying, but or something like that. But like when it's need to be done, I'm transparent enough to do it. And I think that it's still an uncomfortable place, but I think for me, that's mental toughness, from my mindset.
That's
Yeah,
good. That's
I
good.
like that.
That's
Very
good.
good answer.
Does anyone want to add on to what mental toughness means to them, and how can it be healthy instead of harmful?
I won't be long winded. I just like what Ryan said as far as
Mhm.
being able to compartmentalize. There's moments where you can now step back and you could have crashed out. It's like kind of like in those movies or like Saved by the Bell when Zach would pause everything, walk over there, smack somebody, to come back. You know what I mean? It's like you could do that. So I'll keep it there because I don't want to be long winded on every question, but I do like that in terms of our mental toughness. It deals a lot with using discernment and thinking about the bigger picture, keeping the big picture, so you don't have those small things and lose everything.
Okay, Mr. Rubama, sound like you want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna add, one of the things I had talked to the guys this morning was, mental toughness is the ability to persevere and remain determined in the faces of challenges and setbacks and adversity. And, as all of us being former athletes, we've all had to do that. I think the key that I love what Ryan said, the key I think is so positive is maintaining that positive mindset. Staying focused and not giving up, even when things get difficult. We have things in our life when we feel like, man, how can I keep going forth? But people are dependent on us, family members, people who look up to you. You don't even realize people who are looking up to you. So when you're going through things and they see you persevere, then they come to you and say, how'd you get through that? Then they're able to see a real life example of somebody who got through something that will help them keep going forward as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because a lot of times we go through things and may not necessarily be for us. It may be for someone else down the road that we're going to encounter. And we just never know it. And
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard when you're going through it. But when you get through it, it's like, bro, I got you. I can help you through it. Like Ryan said, we're going through it. It's interesting that he shared that.
I was going to add on to this. It's interesting. So the phone call, I told you my cousin just got married recently. So in 2008, my first wife passed away from cancer. So my son was like, Dad, I know you don't like to talk about it all the time, but this might be the time for you to be able to share that whole thing. And I'm like, you're right, and so that's one of the things I could tell her, when the moment's right, that, while this moment right here is devastating, you're in your lowest point ever, it will get better. Not that it will get better. And you just speak that positive into them, knowing that somebody else has been through it. And then when they know that you got through it, it's like, oh man, okay, it will get better. So that's the one thing I think we all got to do is experiences that we go through, the tough things we go through. Don't be afraid to be able to share that with other people so that it will help them as well.
Yeah, and I run to that. This is a teachable moment. That's my favorite. I don't care what happened. It's always, I don't care. Just like the young man with the Browns. I know everybody gonna say he wrong, this, that, and the third. I will let him know, immediately. You're gonna get consequences and repercussions anyway, but I support you because I know that she wasn't 100% correct. I know that. I know, and ain't no man in this world just walking around punching, beating up, just doing that when they have a future ahead of them. It just so happens that she get to skate out. But then again, you get to say, yo, I remember I was in that. Your testimony gonna always, you know what I mean? That's why you get the smile. That's when faith come in. If you really got faith, look, I'm gonna be all right, bro. It's all good. It's cool, even at the worst. So yeah, man, I love that.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Kendall.
So can I give me the clarity of the question one more time?
I got you, brother. So the question is, what does mental toughness mean to you, and how can it be helpful rather than harmful?
All right. So to me, mental health is
mental toughness.
Mental toughness is being an open book. That's what it is to me, because I had to learn the hard way, man. Like I'm probably one of the most hard-headed people you're gonna meet back in my past until I came home from prison. I'm gonna say all the way up until 2023, I probably was. I still had the hard head. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of them people that I gotta see it to be able to believe. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show me. You know what I'm saying? But being mentally tough, it just showed me that, dog, I could cry in front of you. I could cry with you. I can cry behind your back. I can tell you how I feel in front of you to whoever else that with you. I don't have to beat around the bush. I don't have to lie. I don't have to cover nothing up. I can just tell you what it is, because I'm strong enough to take what come with it. I'm also strong enough to take your opinion, your perspective, because I'm also strong enough to give mine. That's one. That's how I feel about being mentally strong, because I'm still learning how to be mentally strong, so I don't really have the total answer like y'all teaching me every day. Like my brother teaches me, because brother, be able to take care of a grown man, in battle with stubbornness, because my dad is not dumb. He went through a illness, and he went through some things, some consequences of his actions, but at the same time, he know what he doing. In the times that where a person can get frustrated, I see my brother swallow a lot of things, you know. So that's strong. And to
Yeah.
see it, then I tell you, I was one of them people that got to see it to believe it. Where I
Yeah.
see it, because I see him battle right there, and I say, you know what? If he can do it, I can do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I commend him every day, every time I see him. I commend him. I pray for him every day, every night before I close my eyes. I pray for him because it takes a strong person to do that. It breaks me down to do it. I'm telling you. Like, I lived with my brother for a whole year, right or wrong, somebody. It breaks me down to do it. Like it does. It's something that you got to adjust to, because not only have my dad wasn't in our life 24/7, but I was gone for a mistake I made. So the knew him when I left, he wasn't like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was chilling, talking to my dad on a regular. You know what I'm saying? Before, you know what I'm saying? So that's my strength. And to the second part, why is it good?
How can it be helpful and not harmful?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, it's helpful, right? Because if you hold it in long enough, you might explode. That's one. I've seen a lot of people commit suicide off of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with it, like my brother said, this been a tough year, right? Mm-hmm. The last 2 years been tough, man, real tough, man. Dudes that I work with, guys that I gave opportunity just to see how they struggle, battle. Like, I got a guy I just hired last week. He was homeless. You know, you would never know he was homeless. You know what I'm saying? He lives in a house where a guy's a crackhead, pushing up the couch to the door, scared to death. He can't even sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? So if you hold it in, I helped him release his. And now, like, man, like I said, I didn't know he was homeless before that, but now you really can't tell.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? So, like, you gotta let it out, man. You can't hold it in. That's what releasing toxic is, man, letting it out. So
yes.
That's why I believe it's more good than harm.
Nah, that's good. That's good. And thank you for being transparent. I think that it's healing in you just being transparent and letting it out.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Oh, you know that. And a lot of things heal me. Cause I don't do the rest. Just come.
Phone breaking up.
Out.
Yeah, it's going in and out, Kendall.
Just seeing y'all at the vegan cookout was, you know,
oh yeah,
like
that
was so healing. You know what I'm saying? To taste that food and just to be around good spirits and, and energy and vibes. I ain't got to worry about nobody playing drill. I ain't got to worry about none of that this time. Like, I'm up here with my bros, and I'm just thankful. Like I said, man, that's why it's good to release it, man. So thank y'all.
Yeah, and that food was good too, man. I'm glad I pulled up. I'm glad I pulled up. So
I want that Philly right now.
Hey man, that's crazy. I just said something about it. I told Samaj, I was like, I'm mad I didn't grab one for the train ride back home.
We'll do it again.
Man,
I should have packed one away.
We'll do it again.
For those who don't know, Samaj and Kiddo, they're brothers, and Samaj is the caretaker for their father. He's been doing it. I don't know how long he's been doing it, but he's been doing it.
Year 7, baby.
Year 7. So it's definitely mentally tough. I'll be honest. I saw him one time and I broke down. Just, seeing everything he does every single day, sun up to sundown, like amongst everything else he does.
No, you wouldn't believe it.
If people forget that he's still taking care of his father, like he's the caretaker.
You wouldn't believe it, like, bro. Like, you would not believe. I swear to God, y'all. You would, if he wrote this stuff down on a piece of paper, you'd be like, man, ain't no way in hell that man doing all that today.
And still comes down to Tidewater every day, every week, at least once a week, sometimes more than once. So flowers to you, Samaj, man. Like,
man, we don't need it. I appreciate y'all, but man, get to the next question. You know how I feel.
Okay.
You're supposed to take care of you honor your mother and your father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they didn't hook up that night or when they hook up, you wouldn't be here. So I wouldn't be able to be nothing to you guys and nobody else if it wasn't for them. So we
Yeah.
get past the regret and just a little bit like we've been talking about. I want to teach other men how to get that daddy issue out. You know what I mean? Go talk to
Yeah.
your pop, help him out, get that hate out your heart, because it's there. I ain't gonna lie, it was there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And sometimes you got to catch yourself, because sometimes you want to be like, yo, dog, why you ain't why you wasn't there? What did I need to do? But then when somebody fighting for their life and all they got is you, like literally, like, bro, you put a smile on the face. You the reason why I eat, use the bathroom, do. Man, that do it all. That said all. All
Yeah.
I had to do was tell him, bro, I love you, man. Don't even worry about it.
And you do it with a smile on your face. But
That's
Coach
it.
James, what does mental toughness mean to you? How can it be helpful rather than harmful?
Great. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, brother.
I appreciate it, man. I've been enjoying hearing the testimonies. You know, I'm from the old school, going to church and listening to testimonies. Grew up in apostolic faith, listening to people testimony. That's all I could do. We had to go to church. It wasn't an option. I'm a baby of 12 kids, same mom, same dad, and we had to get tough. We was going to that church house on Sunday to praise the Lord, or whatever you want to call him, and let him and thank him. But I was, you know, the testimonies are great because I love hearing people win. And so Miles, just to piggyback what you were saying about people, our family is very, very big about celebrating the victories of other people. And that's why we can't get too far right now, because we don't know how to celebrate each other. And you know, we was raised to shake hands, hug, how you doing? Somebody was saying I love you, and a lot of people don't even know how to use the word because they've never been loved. So they use the word out of context because they hear other people say it. But thank God that my family, you know, I grew up into a family where there was always love. So my mental toughness started real quick, and I'm gonna pick off some of your testimony about taking care of a loved one. So I got mentally tough when my father was sick and with Parkinson's disease, and y'all know Muhammad Ali and Michael J. Fox had that. So when my dad got sick, you know, he couldn't change his clothes, he couldn't do anything. So I had to get mentally tough right then because I was the last kid in the house. Again, baby of 12, everybody else going to college and went out and start working. So I had to get tough right then. I was shaving my dad. I ain't had no hair on my face. I was washing him with no clothes on. I was very frustrated. I was pissed off. I was mad. And then I couldn't even show my emotions around my parents, because when the parents told you to do something back in the day, they're going to say it one time and you're not going to challenge them. So when I looked at my dad, he told me, thank you as a 13-year-old for taking care of him, washing him up. And I just turned the corner and started crying. And how can I not help my dad and my mom, and they sacrifice so that I can get where I am now? So I had to get over myself quick as a 13-year-old. You know, we're impatient. We want to get off the bus, go play. No, I had to get off the bus and go check on my father. So I got really, really tough mentally there. And that's just a small testimony of, and just, you know, again, piggybacking of you taking care of your parents, because you do not know who's going to have to take care of you when you get older. So you have to treat people right. You have to love people. When I was in the school system, I resigned because I told people I love them too much from Virginia Beach City Public Schools in 2018. I told people I love them all the time. Well, they said, Mr. James, you can't tell people you love them. I said, well, I guess you're going to have to take this job, you know, and I resigned and I got into mental health. And so I knew what I was, how I was taught. And I had to be mentally tough because the world is going to challenge all your morals and values. Most people in the world right now do not care about morals and values. They don't care about certain things. It's always there. Right now, we're in a state of mind right now. Everybody's looking at themselves. And the author said, how do you become great? It's by how many people you serve. You have to be of servanthood. And you know, and again, by us being obedient and helping people, becoming mentally tough. If I wasn't mentally tough, I would have started doing some things and changed my family tree and did some things to jeopardize our future. You know, when you start speaking ugly and doing ugly stuff, you know, those things tend to mess up your path. So I had to get mentally tough real fast. And again, I'm gonna keep this short. And because we were mentally tough and we did what our parents taught us to do, love people, we now have a book. Mr. Rubamba, you was talking about a book. This is our family book. This book was published through UNC Press out of Chapel Hill, a 100-year-old publishing company. Our book launch was at Hampton University. The author lives in Newport News. And so by us being mentally tough and doing what we're supposed to do and not making wrong decisions, you will get blessed on the back end. You know, the Bible says this, your latter days are your better days. But you still have to make those tough choices mentally because, you know, the world wants to do this, but you have to do that. And what you do might not be as popular as the world.
That's
you know,
right.
and the Bible said we are in this world, but we're not of this
the
world.
That's right.
Yeah. We're not going to be here forever, but while you're here, you got to hold the line. It's going to get worse, y'all. We're never going to be united. I'm just sorry. You talking about Democrats and we were divided way back then, and it's going to get worse. So what we can do is, by us doing this, we have to catch who we can. And I used to think I could help all the kids.
Yeah.
You know, but now, you know, this book is out. And the quickest way to reach the masses is by what y'all are doing here, publishing books. Like this is my family book. You got to reach the masses however you can. And just remember, everybody's not going to clap for what you're doing. Don't look for the claps. Stay the course. Do what you're supposed to do. People are not going to clap every time you go help somebody. You don't need an award all the time. And I'll say this, and I'm gonna say this. Your award is down here on the earth, but your reward is up in heaven. Okay? So you can't look at everything that's going around you. It'll have you going crazy. I watch the news just to see what's going on, but mentally I have to know how I was raised and what I was taught. You got to stay the course. So I thank God for this platform.
Yes.
It's going to help me make better decisions down the road. And outside of my family, I have brothers that I have y'all who I could call my brothers. Didn't come from the same mama. They might not have the same daddy, but that doesn't matter either.
Because we all brothers under Christ.
Oh, exactly. So we have to hold we have to stay together, man. So I thank God for y'all, man. And I know I hope I answered your question, but
Now you did. All I needed for you to say is one band, one sound. I ain't get that part.
Hey. Don't make me get my trombone out, man. One band, one sound. You know, and look, that's the universal music is the universal language. So that's another big connection as far as mentally, you know, connecting with people. But because of you all, you know, my numbers are going up. My what do you want to call it in the hospital? Your vitals.
That's good.
My vitals are going up. I feel good because I can talk to y'all and be open. And so I love you, whether you like it or not. You ain't got no choice. That's how we gonna roll.
Let's do it. So
appreciate y'all.
Nah, we good. Thank you, Coach James, for sharing. So I'm gonna get right to it. Let's do this for the questions that I got going forward. Let's keep it to 30 seconds to a minute so we can get through it. I'm not going to ask every question, but I'm going to just stay on track with what we're speaking about. So the next question I have is, has anybody ever felt like quitting? And then if you did, what helped you keep going or walk away with peace? So have you ever felt like quitting, and then what helped you keep going or walk away with peace?
Well, you know, I quit, you know, being my teammate in college. You remember I walked off second quarter, you know what I mean? Got into it with Coach Gillis. So that was one time I quit.
They ain't dropping.
I mean, Coach Gillis and it was good to see him at that funeral because we hadn't spoke since then, and I had to shake his hand. But that hurt, you know what I mean? Because people personally, that's why I fell in love with the Most High, you know what I'm saying? Because people can alter your route, man. You know what I mean? They can make you go places that you wasn't even thinking about going. So I was able to walk off that field knowing in my heart that I would be fine because I was standing for my morals, ethics, values, and integrity. Like he totally disrespected me. And if I had a father, you know what I mean, at that moment I would have been able to get some better advice and speak to him. But I was doing as a young man, I was making my first stance. So that's what, made that quitting feel good. And then I knew I made the right choice once things actually opened up because we got a new coach. I was able to go back, get my scholarship back, by trying out for spring ball, stuff like that.
Right.
But that was one instance, and when I just had to quit. Then of modern day, you know what I'm saying, being out there in LA, working on the clothing line, and I just knew that the industry wasn't for me. I was over it. I would like we all say that when you hear that God, or you seen them movies where you got that good you and that bad you, right and left shoulder. It just wasn't doing nothing for me no more. Meeting so many people, and the first thing they would tell you, they wouldn't even tell you their name. You know what I mean? It was literally like stage name, screen name, freaking social media handle, and then my cousin does this. You going to the party here? You going here? And I'm from the East Coast, where it's like I'm used to asking, "Yo, how you doing? How your mother? How's your father? How's your children?" So then that, and then just seeing it all unfold now with just stuff like the Diddy's, the J's, the this, the that, the secret symbols, and just the demonic stuff. I just knew it wasn't for me. But just like today, it's Duke's birthday, so being able to just reach out to him, that's another thing. Know I love you, bro. Keep it going. But as men, we get on our spiritual path at different times. So I jumped into mine, and being able to still have that connection, and
Yeah.
build my legacy and his, that let me know it's right there.
Got you. So walking away is what kept your peace, from what it sounds like. Walking away helped you keep the peace.
Yeah, in that instance, walking away twice, you know what I'm saying? But you can be something that looks like you walking away can be lining you up where you were supposed to be the whole time.
Okay.
That's where I was going with purpose against what I like
So
or what I was good
yeah.
at. You know what I mean? I was good at this stuff. I'm good at clothes, good at the industry, good at throwing parties. But my purpose lies in healing. My purpose lies in farming and
Right.
helping people and coaching and stuff. Like that's where my purpose lies.
Got you. All right. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else? Have you ever had a time where you felt like quitting, and what kept your peace?
You're
You know
doing a
what?
hell of a job, Lorenzo.
Appreciate it. What helped you keep going or walk away with peace? You got something, Tony?
Well, actually, just staying close to Christ. I got a couple of street evangelists that's a part of my church. They keep it real. You know what I'm saying? They are 10 toes down in the street. They going out and getting them guys with the switches on the pistols.
All right.
I'm saying they doing the thing.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of keeping me grounded. Um,
So you're saying that you had times where you felt like quitting from is that your purpose you're saying, or
well, it has come with challenges.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It come with challenges. Should I be doing this? Shouldn't I be doing this? You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like God, really chose me to be doing media. You know what I'm saying? So I know media is a big thing. And I've heard over time that you can't be scared to live and die, Lorenzo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't be scared to do both. So you gotta go ahead and step on the ground that's before you. And so yeah, it comes with its moments that you question, like, do I really want to do this? I heard Samad say something that kind of really brought some things home to me. Samad said he might have a short life. You know what I'm saying? And seeing our forefathers and our leaders that spoke out in the world, sometimes that's a discouragement, You know what I'm saying? To know that if you speak out on truth, you know, your life can be shortened. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's a discouragement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what the challenge is sometimes for me is like, you know, I ain't the baddest dude in the street, but if I got that thing on me, I'll pop you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying it's like
That's real. That's
it's
real.
just, if it's just I'm scared. You know what I mean? I ain't the bad dude. You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm
you're
trying
gonna do
to
what you
live
gotta
for
do to
life.
protect yourself. You're gonna protect yourself though. Sound like what you're saying.
Right, right. But I don't want to have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you.
So yeah, it's you know, so those are my challenges,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
You know it's been a challenge in this mental health space. Because you know we ain't jumping on it for that reason. You know what I mean? We started a few years ago, you know what I mean? Whereas literally you bring us around sports, we don't want to talk to sports at all. Like Ryan said earlier, we literally asking, yo, what's going on in the household? Yo, you got money for cleats, you know what I mean? Who needs something to eat?
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
money for camp, you know? So that gets discouraging too when you hear people saying, you know, we need money for this, we need money. You be trying like, yo, come up with fundraising and just anything. I think just walking that right path in today's time, man, where like I said, it's the vibration so low. It always, you know me, I always be like, man, burn it up, bump it. You know what I mean? Forget it. We'll do our thing our way.
Yeah.
Not just something will happen, you know, something small will happen within the team. A player will ask for you, text you like, Coach, what's good? Where you at? And
Mm-hmm.
it bring you right back to that's
Yeah.
why I'm there in the first place.
Right. Right. That's real. That's real. Mr. Obama,
Yes, sir.
have you ever felt like quitting?
You know what?
Hey, that's an old school answer right there. You
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
that?
yeah,
He
yeah.
said,
Oh
you
yeah,
know what?
yeah. Here's the thing. There's times when I'll give you a good example. There's times you want to give up, but you know you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And a perfect example is that when my first wife passed away, there was times that I was thinking, man, I just want to leave this place. I just want to leave this place. But you know, ain't no way. I got two boys I had to raise by myself, and ain't no reason why you can do that. You know, same thing. And when you look at sports, I can think of different times when I was in college, my first year in running track and field, I struggled miserably uh, as a Division I athlete. I thought I was all that. I wanted to quit. I was running worse times when I was my first year of college than I was when I ever did in high school. I couldn't quit though because you know how I'm gonna be explain myself. And then the next couple of years, everything shined and you know everything went well from there. There's times when I first started getting in as a sports reporter, where I had bosses that you know didn't respect me because of my color, and I wanted to give up. But God said no. I got a purpose for you. So you know there's times you want to give, but you know you can't. You got to keep going because people are dependent on you. So
Right.
So what helped you keep going? I know you said with your wife, you know,
yeah,
having to raise two boys.
right.
In this sports field, what helped you? What helped you keep going when you had those challenges?
You just know you know you can't. It's easy to quit. It's easy to quit.
Yeah.
But to be a you know you my grandfather used to always say you know you got to be a man's man, and that means you know look at times you want to quit but you can't. You can't. You just can't. You got to
Why?
keep going, and
Why
that's what
can't you
kept me
quit?
going.
Why
You
can't you
can't
quit,
quit.
Mr.
You
Obama?
just can't. You can't. You know it's not even can't. It can't even be in your vocabulary. Quit? No, that's not in your vocabulary. You got to keep going. You better keep going. I'll put it like that. You know how you gonna explain yourself? You know if I would have quit any of those times that I was going through, how could you know if I would have quit when I was in college? Say, oh yeah, I got to quit the track team because I sucked. No, you better get better. You know, you just can't quit. You just can't quit. It's just not in your vocabulary. You can think
There
about it,
you
but you
go.
can't. You
Yeah.
can't do
There you
it.
go. From the old school. It
Mr.
ain't
Yeah,
in
that's old
the
school right
vocabulary.
there.
So it sound like Mr. Obama had that dog in him, so he just keep.
Oh yeah, gotta have that dog. I ran the 400 hurdles, so you got to be a dog in that. That 400
I
hurdles ain't
got
no
you.
joke.
Coach James, have you ever had a time? Well, I know you kind of talked about it, but did you have a time where you felt like quitting?
Never,
Never.
ever.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
right.
show you. I'm gonna show you my reason why.
There it
Yeah.
is. There it is.
Yeah.
You
There it
see
is.
that?
That's mommy
Yeah.
and daddy.
Yes,
Well,
man. 6'5",
bloodline.
bro. My
Bloodline.
mama.
Bloodline.
You see that?
Yeah. That's real.
12 blankety blank kids. They raised all of us. We didn't need the Boys and Girls Club. We didn't need the damn police. We didn't need look, this is not me boasting. I'm not boasting. I'm just saying my mom and daddy tore ass up in the house. Okay.
Yeah.
They wore our asses out. And I'm talking about child abuse. Okay. The good Lord split you down those hind parts. That's where that belt go.
That's
okay.
right.
Not in your face. You don't get punched by your dad. You don't get hit in the face. That don't has a problem. The Bible says you sacrifice for your own blankety blank kids. They are yours. My mama used to say those kids didn't ask to be here. Now they, are here.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not judging. Some of our adults are weak as hell. You hear me?
Right.
All right.
Our adults, you cannot depend on the damn Democrats or Republicans, president. None of that sugar honey iced tea matters.
Yeah.
Further of all, God did not intend us to have a government. That's going to go over some people's head. We were not intended to have a government.
Well,
we already jacked up because we in a system here. So you got to recognize it. Your parents are your first teachers, not your kindergarten teacher. Okay. So when my parents can raise 12 blankety blank kids and one special needs, I have a special needs sister, they did it. But some of these weak ass parents have kids and they always got damn excuses why they can't handle their kids. And then they go depend on somebody who can't even relate to their kids to work with their kids. You had them, get your what together and get your damn house in order. And that's why we jacked up now. And I'm gonna say this right here. We don't have a community problem. We have a housing problem. Yeah. If everybody gets your stuff right in your own house, then we won't have as many issues in the community. So the greatest form of government is self-government. Check yourself before you what?
Wreck yourself.
Wreck yourself.
Hey, we don't have the copyright on that one.
Hey. Well, I'm about to say, man has gone extra wild. It's nothing new. Okay, this happened in biblical times. This happened all kinds of times. It's just that now we are enduring it, and people got to know where your help come from. But we looking off of other people who don't give a damn about us. Okay, right. So when you talking about quitting, the slaves didn't quit, did they? So how in the hell are we gonna quit? We got it good. We are in a land of luxury. We can go inside a air-conditioned house.
Amen.
Okay. So you talking about quitting, man, you don't even deserve to be alive if you talking about quitting. Go ahead and just say, look, I'm gonna say this. Apostle Paul, Paul said, I'm ready to die. Okay. I done what I'm called to do. Right now, I'm not ready to. Right now, I don't want to die right now, but we know our time is coming. So I used to be afraid of death. But when you found out your calling and you're doing it, you're not going to be afraid of death. Some people are scared of death because they know they ain't living right. But when you know you're following the principles and you're doing the best you can and you're helping people, the Lord can come and get you, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go right now because I'm in my purpose. So, no, I know I went all over the place. I have never felt like quitting because they didn't quit on me. So I know we human, but ain't no way in hell that I'm going to quit knowing that people die for us. No.
That's right.
I agree and disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got to know when. You know what I mean? You got to know when, because like I said, a lot of our people, I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
The word quit, you got to know when to quit what. You got to quit those bad habits. A lot of things that we do are in the hands of other people. You know what I mean? What you just spoke of, saying parents need to do this and we need to get our individual households together. That is true, but that comes from quitting the things we were taught. It took me a whole lifetime to realize that our parents wasn't perfect. But a lot
Ain't
of the
nobody
blame,
perfect.
hold on. A lot of the blame that we put on them, because our situations, each and every one of us, we are anomalies. I want us to start realizing that. Because when we good and when our house, we are talking about, when we speak of we talking about all the broken things that's out there. Because if it was fixed, we wouldn't be on the phone. You know what I mean? If everything was good. So I just want people to realize that if we quit subscribing to a government outside of we the people, you know what I'm saying? Like using that word, that's why I'm glad you used that word, because that word quit, it has a negative connotation to it. That's what I was trying to bring that home. That it ain't always, you're not always quitting, you know what I mean, thinking that you're giving up. Some things we do need to give up in order to
Oh,
evolve.
oh yeah,
You know
let
what
me
I'm
add on
saying?
to
So
that.
our
Zoe,
evolution with that. That's the only thing.
so let me ask this. So when you say quit, because right now I feel like we talking about a whole bunch of different things. So when you say quit, you talking about quit what? What are we talking about quitting?
No, it just, have you ever felt like quitting? Like
Yeah,
as a
Quit.
man, as a
I
human
know.
being, just
yeah.
have you
Right. And
ever
I
felt? But
It could
just
be.
before we have moved to the next question, I was just saying that word, just in general, it has a negative connotation on it. And if to
oh
piggyback off what you were saying, if we quit a lot of things, we can get into a better understanding of the things you were talking about. Because we should have a government, but it was tribal. You know what I
oh
mean?
okay.
We, the people, were the government. We were given dominion to govern in accordance, but you have to be
Yes.
in harmony. We're
Right.
disconnected. So that's the only
And
thing
that's
I was saying.
why, it's an open discussion in the panel, because the way one perspective of one person may not be the same perspective of
Yeah,
another.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You
I'm
know,
saying
so
you can
hold on.
you can say quit a lot of stuff like bad habits, all that.
Yeah,
I understand that part, but when my understanding when you talking about quit, you like give up, quit. Like I don't want to do life no more. I was giving you my personal
that's what I'm
like
Right.
saying.
That's
So
what I
that
was
could be,
saying.
right.
I
that could
agree
be.
with you, but I just wanted, before Zoe went on, just because we got people looking, you know what I mean? And
Oh
for a
yeah,
young man to realize, you should quit hanging with that group of people.
oh
You
yeah,
should
yeah.
quit,
I agree with that.
don't turn into your father who's beating your mother. Or don't
Right.
give up, you know what I mean? There's certain things that I take mine, for example. I'll tell you straight up. There's certain things I had to quit. I had to
Oh yeah.
quit, doing this, that, and the third. So that's the only thing I was saying. Go
Oh
ahead, Zoe.
word.
Nah, y'all good. So
Oh
thank you
yeah,
both.
yeah.
Huh? Thank you both for sharing your perspective on quitting. Um, and I know we're gonna be wrapping up soon, but I did want to ask this question for everyone to kind of share. And this is more since we have younger people watching. This is the question would be: what advice would you give to a younger athlete or younger individual about balance and burnout? I know we talked a lot about just having to work on our mental health and still work and still take care of family, be a student and still go to practice and still work a job. So, what is some advice that you all would give to a younger athlete about balance and burnout? And that anybody can answer that first.
Being this age now, you first. Because when you become a man, only thing he's gonna be saying is the things that we learned late. If you're not good, nothing is good. And they need to realize that at an early age. You should be able to go tell your coach, this week, I got this going on. I lost two people in my family. This first time me ever dealing with death of my granny or somebody that close to me. There should be just an open platform of courage for young men to go speak more and build that communication. With these phones and these tablets and just technology being given to us so much, they're losing the essence of being able to communicate fluently. You know what I mean, and effectively to get their point across. So with that overworking and burning out, that's because you're holding stuff in. You know what I'm saying? So that one, and then the second thing that I would just advise to them between the balance and the burnout, recovery, rest. You know what I mean? Go to bed, get you some rest. You know what I mean? It's okay to tell people, where I'm going, but it's also great to know the last thing is that this ain't the end all be all. That's why literally we are in this mental health space and that I chose to be in, because I want young men to know that if you don't play, so if you don't go to college, so for sports, so if you don't go pro, so I never introduced myself as James Callahan or Samaj Callahan Bay, the football player, the clothing designer. I introduced myself as myself. You can learn about me on the other things that I do, but they need to realize that, especially in today's time, it's better. You don't have to have a wicked jump shot or just crack rock. You know what I mean? You don't have to just run touchdowns. If you want to be a bioengineer, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to own, a debate, or anything, you can do it. So just realize that you getting that scholarship and just going pro, you have many other options.
My brothers is dropping all the rap lyrics tonight. So y'all know me. I'm a laugh. But anybody else want to share? What advice would you give to a young athlete, young student about balance and burnout? Tony, you want to share on that?
Men, people that support you, people that.
I'll share. Tony, I think you're doing some editing over there. It's all good. I'm gonna share about balance and burnout. So I agree with taking care of you first. I do agree with that. And just having the advice I would give to a younger athlete is just having a routine, having a schedule. As a grown man, I like to have a checklist, a to-do list, and everything that I put on my to-do list doesn't get checked off, but you know what? It's always tomorrow. I know, and being in education, especially special education, I had to learn that the work that you don't finish one day is still be there tomorrow. So all those late nights of being in the school with IEPs and all that kind of stuff. So just giving yourself time to have personal time, but also remembering that if you don't get to it the next day, the current day, you can get to the next day. So don't overwhelm yourself with trying to get it all done at once. So that would be my advice to the younger athletes and students.
What was the question again, Zoe?
So what advice would you give to a younger athlete, younger student about balance and burnout? But real quick, Tony, let me let Mr. Rubama speak really quick.
Go ahead.
Because I know you got to go. You got to go?
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Obama. Thank you. All right. Go ahead, Tony.
I would say, you were saying burnout, and what was the other thing?
So balance and burnout. So pretty much, like balancing your time to, so you don't have to burn out. What's some advice you would give so you don't go run into the burnout? What advice would you give as far as balancing your schedule and your time?
Yeah. If you can find some solace in kind of meditating, just trying to get away from the rat race of things that's going on, social media, taking like a hiatus on social media, trying to take some time to just like see the flowers grow. I see so many people and so many today looking down at their phone. They don't even hear the birds chirping or the sun hitting the grass, and like Samar said, like taking off your shoes and just touching ground, just grounding yourself. So I just think slowing down some, you know what I'm saying? I think our kids are taking on so much of what our the parents and so forth are dealing with. I think they're taking that on so much that they can't even be kids right now. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'll share this with you guys. I do a lot of youth sports because I record a lot of different ball games and stuff like that. And I seen this little kid. He ran up to the back of this girl. He wasn't no more than, he was probably at my lower sternum or in my stomach or something like that. And he was like, he grabbed up and grabbed the girl's ass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we had a football game. You know what I'm saying? He felt like he was compelled to like, I'm a grab this woman's ass. And she dragged his butt right to his mother. You know, and his brother's like, man, what is your little kid doing? What's up with this little kid? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and he had another little kid with him. And I'm like, this is the type of stuff. Yeah, I was a kid and I was looking at women, but I wasn't enticed to touch them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These days, these kids are enticed to actually put their hands on people.
Yeah.
That's a learned behavior too.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there ain't no filter. Like we was talking about the other day, there's no filter between who's grown when footage goes out. So when content goes out, content doesn't say, "Oh, this a 15-year-old. Let me cover her up." No, they get it just like you get it. They see everything. Everything is over sexualized. Everything is about money. That's why, you know what I mean, I'm so big on quit. You know what I mean? Quit that. You know what I'm saying? I want that to be said, because if it ain't your purpose, I don't really give out too much props. I'm not lying. You know what I mean? Because we all do a lot of things just because we're good at it.
Right.
But a lot of people don't get engulfed in what they were called to do. You know what I mean? They're not willing to put that bread on the back burner. They're not willing to not take that money, or just because people are gonna look at you this way or look at you that way. I will emphasize being an individual who's selfless for the team, but whose self comes first, is what I will emphasize at an early age, because that's how you're gonna have to maneuver, whether you're on a job, whether you running the kitchen as a chef, the head chef or whatever. If you have a company and you got to run your staff, you're gonna have to keep what means the most to you. And that's one of the saddest parts about living in today's time. And what we seen, like what we were coming up here for today, was really to speak about, the violence. How these young men, how do we channel and combat this violence that our young men are connected to? Because whether they're doing it or not, some cases, some of these athletes are doing it. Some of them are getting killed, like Mr. Rubama said. But regardless to what, most athletes, somebody on your team is connected to the violence and the negativity that's going on in the community, because they're too popular. You know what I mean? They're from the same neighborhoods. How do we combat that?
You're right, Samad.
Like, really, bro? How do we really combat that? Because when everybody don't go pro, um, you can't beat your kids no more. Like Coach James was talking about, you can't pull out a belt. What happens when you pull out a belt and this kid pull out a 45 with a drum or a 9mm with a stick? We had fear. Our parents put fear in our heart. They're not afraid. Like you said, you had Joseph, he wasn't afraid to die for something bigger. They're not afraid to die because they don't feel like there's nothing worth it. You know what I'm saying? So we get caught up in these X's and these O's and all this type of stuff. And then, like Tony said, you said the number one thing, because I had to realize that when I was about to approach my 40s, that when you slow life down, that's when you win. It's just like when we was playing sports. When you got, whether it was your senior year, your junior year, the earlier you can get that game to slow down to your speed, that's when you became the best that you could ever be. That's the same thing in life. We be running. I'm gonna get this bag. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get that scholarship, man. I'm about to be the best. But then you always see there's always a special case scenario. You like somebody go be like Steph Curry. I'll use him just for an example, because he wasn't LeBron coming out of high school, or he wasn't. Now he's one of the greatest ever. You know what I'm saying? Because he stayed consistent. He worked hard. He did it his way. This is my thing. You know what I mean? I ain't the biggest. I can't dunk on everybody, but this my way. Everybody need to take, all my young men and young women coming up, please take that, because if you don't, you're gonna be stuck in things, taking money and taking deals and offers from people outside of the Most High. But when you click on that purpose, when you in your purpose, can't nobody move you. I'm talking about, no, your mama, whatever mom, whatever dad, I'm gonna prove it to you. Whatever homeboy, whatever homegirl, whatever coach, whatever. I'll do this because this is just what I'm good at. This is fun. It helps us. But our purpose, bro, and it'd be so cliche, you know what I mean? It's so cliche. It sounds good, everybody said, I wake up, I do my purpose. How? How? How are we at this imbalance? How you do your purpose and your kid out here acting like that? I give you your grace. You know what I mean? I give you all the grace in the world, but we still suffer no matter if you do the work or not. You know what I mean? So that's all I got tonight. But Coach James, if you got anything, Zoe, if you got any more questions, I want to just first say thank you. You know what I mean? Because we know how this thing go. We know how people's schedules go. We know how, things go. But I appreciate you sticking to the commitment, coming on, sharing whatever, because when this content goes out, we don't know who it's going to hit. We don't know how it brings together mothers and fathers and sons and fathers and daughters and mothers and sons and daughters, but we know we doing our part.
That's
You know
it.
what I mean?
That's it.
Amen.
I just want to say I thank God for you being guys being consistent. I always like rocking with people who stand for something. I love everybody, but I always watch how people walk and what your mission is. People say I'm always nice. Yes, I'm nice, but I'm still watching you, like to see what you're doing. What's your mission on this world? What are you doing? And I know you cannot do all this work by yourself. Like I said, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few.
Yeah.
And so I just want to say I appreciate everybody. I learn from everybody when I listen, because I'm never going to arrive. Okay, I'm going to say, well, I'm arrived. I'll arrive when I'm gone. Okay, and I'm never going to stop growing. And I thank God for being around people who are themselves. And because if I couldn't be myself, I wouldn't be up here. Somebody tried to box me in the school system, and it didn't work. I'm not gonna comply to somebody else, and we don't align. I'm not mad at you, but I'm walking this walk here, and I need to find. I hope the Most High put me around somebody who's walking the same walk, and we may be different, but we're the same in a lot of ways. So this right here is a blessing, because if I don't think I got shifted out of the school system into mental health, I don't think I'll be talking up here right now. So I know his plans are way bigger than mine. And so I love the way that y'all talk. You're passionate, and I just thank God for your consistency. We're on this journey together, and I think
You probably hit the mute.
You got quiet, Coach James.
Yeah.
What happened?
I think the mute hit, but always a pleasure, Coach James. And like I said, I wasn't, it ain't never, I agree with you first, but we got to remember, after we give our generation, I'm just trying to teach the next, you know what I mean? Because we'll have young men in there be like, man, I can't quit. I'm not ever giving up. And it's like, nah, bro, it's okay. You know what I mean? But don't give up on life. You know what I mean? If you're going to give up at this, go do what you good at. Don't go do what you was called to do. You know what I mean? And you're
Yes, sir.
never, the only final failure is when you just, you know what I mean? But some things need to be,
Oh
because
yes,
we'll have people sitting in places, and we need that doctor, coach. You know
yeah,
what I mean? He
right.
he not gonna be, a Pro Bowler 3 times. He not gonna be that, but he
No,
might go be the greatest rocket scientist we ever met.
oh, street sweeper.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's why
Exactly.
I'm just trying to make sure we consistent in what we do here. That when it go
Yeah,
out to them, that's the way we did it. Cool. There was flaw in the way we did it too. You know
oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because we stayed in it. Go
right.
do your thing, young man and young woman, because we need you to balance the thing where all we do is rap. All we do is play sports. Man, we got geniuses out here, man.
Yes, we do.
You know
Amen.
what I mean? Be that
Yeah.
genius. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.
And Tony, thank you for just being there. You know what I mean? Thank you for always being ready. You know what I'm saying? Always being ready and getting the thing going to the channel. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just, you know what I mean? You know how I feel, though.
Yeah,
I
Oh
want to
yeah.
just stay consistent so we could do
yeah.
more.
It's funny because the meeting we almost didn't have the meeting tonight, and I'm glad we did. I'm glad we
Me
had the
too.
call tonight, because there was some good stuff. So thank y'all, brothers. Thank you, Tony. It's funny. One of the guests just texted me and said, "Hey, y'all still going on?" So we'll just catch them next time, because
Next
I ain't
time.
gonna
Next
Right.
time.
Yeah.
bring them in.
It's all
So
good. But I
Yeah.
just want I want Samaz to know when we first met out in Maryland at the harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we knew it was gonna be real from then on out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
I ain't going nowhere, my brother.
Likewise, that's a fact. We was at that table. We go out. I'm like, man, we said the same thing. It was like this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just want, you know what I mean? When you in this thing, you know how I feel to be burnt. You know what I mean? Not even talking about money, just people
Yeah.
saying that they want to do stuff and they gonna
Yeah.
be there for you. But you
Bro,
look and you
bro,
know what I'm
look though.
saying?
Look, bro. Look at the 4 people on the screen right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many years ago. Remember the call the 3 of us had, and both of y'all related. We still here through
That's a
the
fact.
through the differences, the conflict. We still here. We gonna be here, bro. Like,
That's a
I
fact.
told you. I said I don't just walk with people no more. I watched you. I watched you, Samaz. Lorenzo, I met you back in 2010.
yep,
So I knew you. Then I watched Samaz. I watched what you were doing, which was way different than just being a brother that's tied into the earth and doing this and growing that. I'm a country boy, but you was going a little deeper with it. So I'm like, okay, I need to pay attention to you. Yes,
Exactly.
we have our moments. We bump heads. We talk. One time I called you at night and apologized, didn't I?
Yes, you
My
did.
I called
Lord,
you
my
because
Lord.
the Holy Spirit checked me. He said, "Get back in the line."
Mm-hmm.
I don't be calling people saying I apologize.
Woo!
I called you that night. I said, "Yo, my brother, I apologize." So I know how to. I know when I'm not lined up right, my Holy Spirit gonna check me.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna be like, "Yo, you better call him right now."
Yeah, you
But
know.
no,
I
yeah,
appreciated it, and I'll do the same thing. But I don't even respond these days to argue. So
I
before
know.
anything, I hear you. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just gonna help. You know what I mean? We good. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You ran your heart is in the right place. We got these. We got some youngsters out here that heart ain't in the right place, mind ain't in the right place, and it's all stemming from bad advice, bad
Yes,
examples. I look at
right.
you as a good example. You feel me? So
yeah,
it ain't never that.
But again, I know what love looks like. I know how love feels. I'm not just
Mm.
talking about feel. I'm talking about coming from another man, and people don't understand that. My brothers, I had people looking at my face when I was born,
Hmm.
and they helped raise me. So when I saw what you were giving off, I said that's positive stuff because I watch people, man. I pay attention to people's body language, whether they want to shake hands with me or not. Some people
Hmm.
do stupid stuff, and I'd be like, "Look, they just coming from a different place." But that doesn't change who I am. I
Likewise.
would never let nobody change me. You can help change me for the better,
But
which
that's
I've
all a part of
learned.
your evolution.
Yes.
That was
So when
supposed
I
to happen.
right,
Iron
so when I
sharpen iron, baby.
there
yeah,
it
so I
is.
saw your. I know Zoe walk. Then he introduced me to you, so I was watching your walk and what you were doing, and I say, okay, that's something I need in my life. I'm not gonna say it. God will just send it to me,
Hmm.
My.
But you got to recognize it. Like, okay, he walked different. You don't have to say you different. People will know.
Hmm.
You don't have to have no sign on your chest. Like
Exactly.
I know you walk a walk
Come
where you
on,
be like, man,
EJ.
huh?
Come on, baby.
Look. Like, look, man. We don't need. I don't need a reward. I don't need to have some the employee of the month, or I don't. I mean, thank you. I mean, I
Right.
appreciate it. Believe
Right.
me.
But
But
that's
but
not what moves you.
yeah, like you said, this kid down the street is jacked up right now. You just gave me employee of the month. I want to go check on the kid down the street. So that's for the cameras and lights, camera action, and don't get me talking about the TV, tell live vision. I don't even want to talk about that. But watching you do what you do is something that the community needs. And so if we don't unite, if we don't come together, then guess what? About 100 kids ain't gonna make it. How about that?
Yeah.
Mm,
So,
Yeah,
but
that's a fact.
yeah, so I unite with you. but the enemy is going to try to separate us. You know that part,
Always.
You already know that. You already know that.
Always.
right?
We
You already
stronger
know
than that.
Right,
You already know that.
exactly.
Right,
He
just rock
coming.
solid, baby.
But we gotta
coming.
go through that. We gotta go through that. Like
We-
even me and Samaj had our differences, bro.
Yeah.
We had our big time.
Yeah.
Big
Hurt me to
time.
my core, boy. Hurt me to my core. Hurt me to my
Big
core.
time.
Hey,
I was like, I'm gonna love him from afar. It's all good.
Yeah.
But
right. I said, look,
when I was going through my worst, my brother was right there, bro. So I already know.
come here.
I already
Right.
know.
I know it's coming. Like, again, little things will try to distract you, but you were supposed to get attacked. Don't be surprised. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
he coming. Like, what? Don't you know he coming?
Mhm.
We got 3-4 brothers here united. You know, the world would say, "Oh, here come an uprising. We about to uprise." No,
Nah.
we already taking we taking our position. We have to
Mhm.
claim it. But when we walk it, here comes the distractions and the jacked up stuff, and he'll try to use us against each other. And I would say, enemy, here you go again. You see something going good, I can't let those brothers unite, or they're gonna help save a soul, or they're gonna they're gonna make a disciple. I gotta get to them,
Mhm.
you know. And so, you know,
Yo,
the first thing
you
attack
preaching,
is
boy.
what?
The mental.
You come into your greatest battle right here, bro. So they coming. I can't believe he said this. Well, what the hell? You know, I'm talking to myself, fussing with myself. What the hell? You know, you know. If you don't shut your, you know what up, and call that brother and piece it out right now. I command you.
Yeah.
And so, bam, dude, my fault. I love you. Let's
Love
carry
you back,
on.
brother. Love
Yes,
you
sir.
back, man. It ain't
All
about
day.
nothing.
I
All
love
day,
you.
baby. You already know.
Let's go.
You already know, bro. So I love you. You can't do nothing about it.
Likewise.
Love y'all too, brother.
Man, yes. And y'all
Lorenzo.
brothers, we
Yeah.
3 minutes away. Like I said, man, y'all have a great night. Zoe, thank you for
Yes,
stepping
sir.
up like you do.
Yeah.
And moderating. And just
Yeah.
thank you for everybody sharing, because that's what makes this thing great. Everybody
Amen.
actually getting the opportunity to speak. I wasn't even expecting Ryan to get up here,
I
but
know.
I'm glad he got up here, you feel me? Because that was real.
Yeah.
That was real. And for him to even
Right.
say it, like, you know it's a need for what we got, so
Right.
we're gonna keep doing what we do.
That's right.
But we're gonna get it right. You feel me? It's gonna be all right
Yeah. So
We on the journey.
we'll keep everybody posted for the
on the next
next
one.
meeting
Yeah.
date. Thank
And we'll
everybody.
see you next week, Coach James.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it, brother. Hey, I'm in better shape. I just want you to know that.
Hey, let me know when you want to run some 110s. Just let me know.
I
For
might
everybody,
run.
for everybody getting into the shape that they want, when y'all get there, we got the work for you. We got some more work for you to get in even better shape.
Let's get
Okay,
it.
I'm down. I'm down for it. Hey, look, I'm not the same man I was when I met you. How about that?
I love that.
Ah.
Hey, that's even better.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
even
sir.
better.
Hey, Samaj,
Right.
I'm gonna start posting my gym joint.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
get
go,
it.
man. Ain't nothing over here. I ain't scared of no work
I
now.
know.
I like that work. I like to see my
Hey.
brothers getting
There
that
you
work
go.
in now.
Let's go.
Lorenzo,
But yeah.
I want to say thank you so much for being such a concrete moderator that you are.
Yeah.
Again, like EJ said, the 4 guys that's on here, we're gonna carry this thing on. Next month, we're gonna be on again. We're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
get it down to we're doing it twice a month, 3 times a month, 4 times a month.
Let's
To
go.
We're gonna get parents and everything on here. We're gonna change our community. We're gonna use technology and everything to do what we need to do, guys.
Amen.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All
We
right.
One
gotta
soul
use
at a time.
we gotta use all the tools that's before us to be able to change our community.
That's
Yes.
right. Reach the
Okay.
masses.
So
Okay.
I enjoyed you guys. I love you guys to life.
Thank you. Love you too, bro.
Love you back, brother.
This is on YouTube, so share it with everybody you can share it with.
Gotcha.
Got it.
And then I'll be able to start getting clips and stuff this tomorrow. I'm gonna go on my computer and start working on that joint, Tony.
Okay, no
So
problem.
we'll start having some short clips and stuff. But I got y'all, man.
All right.
Y'all
Have a good
brothers
night, brother.
eat good. If you ain't ate,
hydrate, stretch, get some rest, man.
Amen.
See you tomorrow.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
Love y'all, brother.
Love
Love
y'all
y'all
too.
too, man.
Love you.
All right.
All
Peace
right.
and blessings.
Peace.
All right.